You are standing in a dense, primeval forest 50,000 years ago. The air is thick with humidity and the scent of damp soil. Sunlight barely breaks through the thick canopy of leaves. Suddenly, a dry twig snaps just 20 feet behind you. You freeze instantly. Your pulse spikes to a frantic beat. You glance over your shoulder and see the silhouetted shape of a massive predator crouching in the shadows. You need to warn your tribe immediately. If you open your mouth and scream, the sound will pinpoint your exact location and trigger a lethal pounce. You cannot use a single word. You cannot speak a single sentence. In fact, the human vocal tract cannot yet produce complex articulate speech. Yet, within less than 2 seconds, every member of your hunting party silently drops to the ground, raises their spears, and locks onto the exact direction of the hidden threat. How did they understand you without a single word being spoken? How did our ancestors coordinate brutal hunts, pass down intricate tools, and forge unbreakable bonds across millions of years without a dictionary? We often assume that before spoken language, early humans were just grunt-filled apes making random noises in caves. But modern neuroscience and anthropology prove a shocking truth. Long before humans uttered their first word, our ancestors commanded a hyper-expressive, incredibly sophisticated communication system. It was not a primitive version of speech. It was an entirely different biological language powered by one fundamental law. Your body spoke long before your mouth ever did. And this ancient body language network was so powerful that it still controls 90% of every conversation you have today. To understand how early humans spoke without words, we have to look at how the brain actually processes communication. For decades, scientists believed that human speech started in the throat with vocal sounds. But in the 1990s, Italian neuroscientists made a groundbreaking discovery that flipped evolutionary history upside down. Inside the premotor cortex of primates, they discovered a special class of brain cells called mirror neurons. When a monkey reaches out its arm to pick up a piece of fruit, a specific cluster of motor neurons fires in its brain. But here is the mind-blowing part. When that same monkey simply watches another monkey reach out and grab the fruit, the exact same motor neurons fire in the observer's brain. The observer's brain physically simulates the movement as if it were performing the action itself. In humans, these mirror neuron networks are located in Broca's area, the exact region of the brain that today controls spoken language. This proved a revolutionary concept known as the gesture-first hypothesis. Our language center did not originate as a tool for speech. It evolved as a gestural control system. Long before we used our mouths to speak words, we used our hands to transmit thoughts directly into another person's brain. Imagine an ancient hunter trying to describe a dangerous saber-toothed cat to his tribe. He did not grunt aimlessly. He executed a series of precise, full-body pantomimes. He crouched low, curved his fingers into razor claws, and mimicked a tense, stalking movement. Because of mirror neurons, every tribe member watching felt the physical sensation of stalking inside their own nervous system. The gesture did not just describe the predator. It projected the physical experience directly into the minds of the audience. Your body was literally telepathic. But hand gestures had one massive weakness. They were useless in the dark. When the sun went down, or when hunting through thick, dense brush, hands became invisible. To solve this, ancient humans layered a vocal component on top of their body language, proto-vocalizations. Long before words were invented, the human voice operated as an emotional musical instrument. Our ancestors used a universal palette of acoustic pitch, rhythm, and resonance. A high-pitched, sharp acoustic burst signaled immediate danger from above. A low, guttural, rumbling sound signaled a heavy ground predator lurking nearby. A soft, rhythmic, humming resonance signaled the campsite was safe and secure. These were not words. They were raw emotional frequencies designed to instantly alter the brain state of the listener. But how did ancient humans identify specific targets without nouns? They used acoustic mimicry. If a hunter saw a herd of mammoth near a river, he reproduced the deep, resonant trumpet sound of a mammoth using his vocal tract. To describe a rushing river, he made a continuous, sibilant sound imitating flowing water. By combining a physical hand gesture for running with the vocal imitation of a bison, an ancient human created a compound idea. The bison are running. No complex grammar required. Pure, vivid mental imagery transmitted through physical motion and sound design. But as group hunting became more dangerous, ancient humans evolved an even quieter, more precise signaling device. It was built directly into the human face. The human eye. Look closely at a chimpanzee or a gorilla. Their eyes have dark sclera. The area around the iris is brown or dark gray. This dark coloration hides the direction of their gaze, making it impossible for rivals to know where they are looking. But humans are the only primates on Earth to evolve stark, bright white sclera surrounding a dark iris. Why did evolution give us such high contrast eyes? Because white sclera acts as a long-range optical beacon. It allows another human to track the exact angle of your gaze from 50 feet away. During a silent hunt in the tall grass, a hunter didn't need to shout or point. He simply turned his eyes toward a hidden bush, and his partner instantly followed his white sclera to pinpoint the target. The human eye evolved as a silent, long-range laser pointer for group survival. Alongside gaze tracking, the human face evolved 43 delicate muscles capable of producing over 10,000 subtle movements. Microexpressions became the tribe's ultimate lie detector. If a tribe member tried to hoard food, their subtle, involuntary facial twitches revealed their intent instantly. Trust was built visually, and deception was almost impossible to hide. For millions of years, this nonverbal system was all humanity needed. It was silent, fast, and deeply intuitive. So why did we ever invent real spoken language? What forced our ancestors to start creating words? The shift was triggered by two massive technological revolutions: fire and stone tools. Around 200,000 years ago, early humans mastered fire. Fire fundamentally changed human culture. It extended the day long after sunset. But when tribe members gathered around the dark campfire at night, hand gestures became invisible in the heavy shadows. You could no longer see subtle facial twitches or eye movements in the dark. Communication was forced to move from the visual realm into the acoustic realm. At the same time, humans began crafting complex stone tools and spears. You cannot demonstrate how to shape a razor-sharp flint axe while your hands are busy making gestural sentences. Spoken words freed up human hands to build, craft, and hold weapons while simultaneously passing down instructions. Over thousands of generations, human anatomy transformed. The hyoid bone dropped lower in the throat, creating a vocal chamber capable of producing distinct vowels and consonants. Abstract words replaced physical pantomimes. Syntax was born. Spoken language allowed us to talk about abstract ideas like tomorrow, yesterday, and justice. It was the ultimate software upgrade that allowed Homo sapiens to dominate the planet. But here is the critical discovery that neuroscientists have uncovered about modern humans. Spoken language never actually replaced our ancient body language system. It was merely stacked on top of it. When you talk to someone today, your conscious mind listens to their spoken words. But your ancient subconscious mind is constantly tracking their body posture, eye gaze, vocal tone, and microexpressions. Your brain is still running the 2 million-year-old gesture system underneath every single sentence. Famous psychological studies at UCLA proved that when a person's spoken words contradict their body language, your brain automatically ignores the words and trusts the physical signal. If someone smiles and says, "I'm doing fine," but their shoulders tense and their vocal pitch spikes, you instantly know they are lying. That intuitive gut feeling is your mirror neurons decoding their body language. Your body still knows the truth long before your mind processes the words. This explains why modern digital communication creates so much anxiety and confusion. When you text, email, or message on a screen, you strip away every single nonverbal layer. You remove the white sclera gaze, the vocal pitch, the hand gestures, and the micro-expressions. You force a 2 million-year-old brain to interpret flat, emotionless text characters on a glass screen. Without body language cues, your ancient brain panics and perceives ambiguity as a potential threat. That is why humanity rapidly invented emojis. Emojis are not a silly modern trend. They are a desperate attempt by your ancient brain to inject facial expressions, gaze direction, and emotional tone back into digital text. We are using modern pictorial gestures to fix the flaws of written language. Modern humans pride themselves on being articulate, rational, word-driven creatures. But words are just the late arriving paint on a house that was built out of physical movement and sound. The next time you lock eyes with a stranger across a room, the next time you lean in to whisper a secret, the next time you use your hands to explain a complex idea, remember what is actually happening behind your words. You are not just speaking a modern language. You are activating an ancient, unbreakable neurological network. You are using the silent language of the ancestors, a language written in motion, sight, and instinct. You stand in the primeval forest. The twig snaps behind you. You do not need a dictionary. You make eye contact. Your white sclera flashes toward the threat. Your mirror neurons fire across the group. Your body speaks. The tribe understands. And the silent language lives on inside you.